Madam,
Yes, sir.
please. Are you introducing me?
Yes, sir. But can you share your presentation, PowerPoint presentation first, sir, or then I will start, sir.
No, I have PowerPoint. Yeah.
Yeah, you can share me first.
Yeah,
Sir.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute, sir. I will introduce you first.
Okay.
Shall we start now, sir?
Yes, yes. Please, madam.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Present here virtually. I am Nalini here, and I welcome you all for today's session, which is titled as India's Population Dynamics, Challenges and Responses. And presenting this session, we have with us our today's expert, Dr. C. Venkatachalam. Dr. C. Venkatachalam is a MA, MPhil, and PhD in sociology. He has 26 years teaching experience in three universities as Acharya Nagarjuna University, Andhra Pradesh, Bhar- Bharati Dasan University, and Periyar University in Tamil Nadu. Currently mentor professor at Bhartiyar University, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. He handled the research projects funded by UNICEF, WHO, a Swedish International Development Agency, DANLEP, USAID, UNDP, Tamil Nadu, AIDS Control Society, ICSSR, and UGC. He has expert in human development reports and perspective plans. He has delivered more than 200 important addresses as inaugural, keynote, valedictory, plenary, etc. Member in a many professional association, including International Society on Early Intervention Center of Human University of Washington, USA. He organized 25 academic programs, including 2 international. Without wasting much time, I am welcome to Dr. C. Venkatachalam. You may start now, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thanks a lot for inviting me once again for the research session. I am very, very happy to associate myself for this event. And today is a special day in connection with the this one, connection with the World Population Day. We are celebrating every year. July 11th is the World Population Day. This is important to address the gathering regarding the how the population is dynamic and how the population is to be understood from different angles, because there are experts are there in population studies, demography, and many other fields, social sciences particularly doing the concentrate on what is happening in the population, because population is a dynamic and population should be converted as the human resource, and the population should not be become the liabilities, because India, as we know very well, India is the second largest populous country in the world. That means we have a plenty of labor resources and plenty of human resources, as well as how to convert them into the resources is the big challenges. So in this connection, I have chosen this particular topic to focus my attention through learning from different field work experience and academic professionals and they're going through the regularly reading the various agencies, organizations, fact-finding reports, and the statistics and the analysis, which is focusing mostly on the population's concern. In this connection, my address has been divided into 4 parts to throw the lights on the world population scenario, to analyze the population structure in India, to highlight the challenges faced with the India, and to sketch out the responses need of the hour. So this is very much very much important at this juncture, because the population is a very important aspect in a country like India. Since we have there is no uniformity in the population growth rate, growth is concerned, where when you come across the various states, even within the states also there are variations within the districts. Even if you take into the districts are concerned, we can find out there is a different type of taluks, blocks. Everywhere you can find some kind of variations, some kind of differences. So in this context, how we are going to analyze the situation is very, very important. So in this regard, I have chosen this area today. The first my objective is world population scenario. World Population Day is observed on July 11th every year to raise awareness regarding the global population issue. Because as already told that every year India is adding either Sri Lankan country's population or Australia population or Singapore population along with this. So which we must throw the light on various aspects. Why this day is particularly celebrated every year to throw the awareness on the public, as well as the policy making bodies, non-governmental organizations, and various other academic institutions to work on it on the population issues are concerned. The day is aimed to address the urgency, significance of the issues related to the population, because every year, because whenever there is an urgency, there is an emergency required, the United Nations organizations celebrate, for example, not only for the population is concerned, they are celebrating International Year of the Family, celebrating in each and every aspect regarding the children, different type of issues related to children, women, and every aspect, because giving some kind of importance, we have to understand what is happening in the population, because since the world is a social lab, changes are taking place depending upon the policy making bodies, the programs which is being implemented, and the schemes we are addressing the people. So in this context, there very much important significance of the population is very much required. It may be noted that World Population Day was established by the United Nations Development Program in 1989, when the global population reached 5 billion. The date itself, 1989 itself, there is significance is that particular year, the child rights have been implemented, rights of the children, to throw the light on various aspects about the issues related to the fertility, the mortality, and the migrations are concerned. Being celebrated for over 3 decades, meant to raise awareness about the situations related to the population control, because population control mechanism, as we know very well, regarding the once upon a time we have the average the family size was very high, and because of the awareness being created, and many of the families become the dual carry or dual earning families. When women are going for the employment, they realize that because population control, because it is very, very essential for to look after the children's welfare, health aspects, and the standard of living is concerned. According to the United Nations Population Fund, the world population will hit 8 billion mark by this year, the present year 2022 itself. This comes after the World War achieved 7 billion mark in the 2011, the previous census. The theme for Population Day today is a world of 8 billion towards a resilient future of all, connecting the opportunities and ensure the rights and choices for all. Because the main purpose is because bringing all the resources, bringing all the knowledge, expertise, and all the things. What are things are happening? What type of modalities to be implemented, and ensure the rights and all choice for all. Because when talking about the rights are concerned, rights is including everything: rights to education, rights to employment, rights to livelihood, right to start an organization, rights to follow the religion, rights to have a freedom from the art. Because human beings are naturally needs rights, because it's a natural rights. Not we are not talking about the human rights are concerned. It is a natural rights. When in the year 1989, the UNICEF has brought the rights of the children, because before that there was several rights have been accumulated like anything, but they classified into 4 rights. The survival rights: children should be survived without having any sexual discrimination. There is no gender inequality and all. Every child is a child, because survival is very, very important, because there should not be any gender disparity in the childhood itself. And similarly, participation rate: children should be given most appropriate chances for participating in all aspects, developmental aspects, progressive aspects. But unfortunately, we have plenty of child laborers, child workers in the country is concerned, because everywhere there, even though the proportion is being reduced, but this informal sector, nobody knows how many children are working, and sometimes the children are forced to work irregular to the schools, and sometimes children are partially working, partially attending the schools. And the childhood is, because we have a demographic dividend. When concerned about the India is having more number of children population, more number of youth population. The demographers classifies as a demographic dividend, but that should be utilized properly and ensure rights for all the time, rights and choices for all. Because equal right, when you're talking about equal rights, that should be given to everywhere, everyone. So this is the every year the theme has been chosen for to celebrating this International World Population Day. The World Population Day seeks to raise awareness about the issues related to demographics globally, because the famous concept is because thinking globally, acting locally. Because our own areas, our own district, our own block, our own hamlets, because there is a various issues pertaining to the particular area. Sometimes you can find out some of the states having more number of the female population is more. Many places you can find female population is less, male population is more. And similarly, some places you can come across the child marriages are more, early marriages are more. There's some issues, because there is no uniformity, the vast country like ours. That globally also you can understand that various places they do not have the labor force is concerned. And India is one of the major suppliers of the labors, like Singapore, Malaysia, many parts of the world. Indian laborers are being migrated to various places, from one place to other place. But that should be understood properly. That is important for the world population. The awareness is to be created, because that should be childhood onwards, because there are different phases in the life: children, childhood, then adolescence, youth, adult, and aged. And within the age, the demography again classifying that young, old, 60 to 70, old, 70 to 80, oldest old, 80 and above. Even centenarians are more in the India's concern, because currently we have a 8.5% of the population is aged 60 and above. Because the UN, according to UNO, any country is having 8%, 7% of the population is aged. The country may be called as the aging country. India is an aging country, but the only 7%. But the absolute number is concerned, India is having dubious distinction. Large number of aged people are living here. But how to make them inclusive? Because awareness is to be created from where? because childhood onwards, our concentration should be prioritized because childhood is very important phase in human life's journey is concerned. Because that particular state, the childhood consists of innocence, curiosity, and to learn many things. But that should be filled with nurturing the best qualities, social control mechanism, and many aspects to be given topmost priorities. The day is significant because of the problems of overpopulation and raises awareness about the effects of overpopulation and the environment. Because population is concerned and the huge population is there, you can understand that there is a problem for the existing resources, the infinity, because there is a finity population, the finity resources, but awareness is to be created because the children should be very healthy, the children should be without any discrimination, the child should not be wasted because childhood is the Chinese properly mentions that ruling the nation is easier than bring up the child because childhood is very important at this juncture because we have a plenty of the important aspect is I already told that India has a number of child laborers are here. Then once upon a time in 1991, a main Weiner, a professor from political science from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, traveled widely in India and he wrote a book about the state and child in India. So he has mentioned that how this, because we are studying the problems of the child laborers, causes for child laborers, many economists put in the point that saying that because of poverty, the more number of children are working in India's concern. But he has mentioned several other variables because choosing the variable is very important. The facilities available in the school should be attractive places and the children should attend the school very freely without having any discrimination. And that purpose only many of the government, state governments are concerned. In Tamil Nadu is concerned, noon meal scheme is being provided. Sometimes for the children are getting the notebooks, school bags free of cost, and they should be in the schools. But the children should not be wasted because education is the most prioritized. So that purpose only that very important aspect is environment is very important and development. Every aspect of the policy making is very important for the development and environment, and particularly human development is very, very important because it talks about the child development index, CDI, gender disparity index, GDI, multi-development poverty, MDPI, and all put together, it is making that human development index is concerned because it is not only for the families are having the fuel, the families are having the electricity, the families are having the potable water facilities, but all the things related to the human development is concerned. Human development, it should be high. Then only that people can think, people can properly act, and all the things talking about the population is the very important parameter. The population is very much important yardstick to understand what type of problems are facing with the population. Because the government is creating awareness. The government is saying that the small family norms is very important. The families are being created awareness by various sources and all the things. But unless people understand that, because the healthy family is depending upon the number of the family size is very important. It also talks about the health problems faced with child-bearing women and the importance of family planning, gender equality, poverty, maternal health, and human rights. Because population is the single phenomenon, but it is very important for the family planning is concerned because the family planning is the process in India, the first country in the world before England that family planning has been introduced. But only we can go for the advocacy, emphasizing. But it's creating the gender equality. Gender equality is very much the most important aspect for gender. When the gender inequality comes, because that when the families are concerned that the boys are very important, then the girls, the gender equality starts because it is awareness is being created. For example, that in Tamil Nadu, out of 15 districts, out of the 39, 15 districts are having more number of female population is the statistics portrays the poverty. Poverty is that a different type of poverty. We cannot say that in terms of economic aspect alone. As per the this one US dollar $1.90. But poverty is to be measured in terms of qualitatively also, because there is an express, there is a rural poverty, there is a, when talking about rural poverty, there is an urban poverty. Sometimes there is expertise says that the overflow of rural poverty is in the urban. People are moving towards the urban. And there is a absolute poverty, the people, subjective poverty, relative poverty. Poverty is in different terminology, different things, because poverty should not be there. The poverty can curtail poverty, poverty can diminish the growth. Maternal health is concerned, because when the women is going for the number of child-bearing practices, when they are delivering more number of children, her health will be suffered a lot. And put all together, the problem for the human race are concerned. In 1000 AD, the world population was only 400 million. It first reached 1 billion in 1804 and 3 billion by 1960. It only took 40 years by 2000 for the population double in 6 billion. Every second of every day, 4.2 people are born and 1.5 people, because that is once upon a time we have a birth rate and a death rate, mortality and fertility and mortality was, even the population growth rate was limited. But today population is growth rate is, because when 4.2 people born, but 1.8 people die, because that is also very important for the health aspects are concerned, because WHO and many other organizations are working for very hardly and finding out the some of the diseases have been, for example, smallpox have been eradicated, leprosy is not there, because it is a immunization and several aspects are. I worked in the project in 1989, the universal immunization program which is implemented, and the backward districts have been chosen. How these people are aware about the this one of these aspects of the children are concerned, and subsequently the WHO conducted the research on the oral rehydration, because this oral rehydration therapy, how the people are knowing about the diarrhea and what type of treatment they are giving to the children are concerned, because it has been reduced by the health organizations are concerned. But this people's mindset should be very proper, very important. It is accepted by 2015, nearly 70% of the world population live in the cities. That we know very well, because cities are being increased, and the people think that cities can solve their most of the problem. But there is also problem is there, overflow, environmental degradation, the people living in the slums, and the areas not suitable for the human habitations are concerned. So there are several aspects are being placed. People have to live longer life expectancies across the world, because they're very important, because when the people are healthy, they can contribute their might, they contribute the best to the family, best to the community, and even the nation building process. Because healthy individuals can contribute, because healthy life is very important. Then any other aspect for that also, because we need a small family size. Global life expectancy for the combined projected to rise 71,000 2000 and years 2040 to 50, and eventually 83 years in the 2095 to 2100, because there is a projections on the base of what is the time series are projecting the things. The world population growing by 1.10% per year, or about an additional 83 million people annually being added in the country's population is concerned, because Earth is a very limited resources. We cannot increase the resources are concerned, but within the things how to make it. The global population is expected to reach 8.6 billion in another 8 years, 9.8 billion in 2050 and 11.2 billion in 2100. So we can understand that how the population, how the population should be converted as a dynamic, because population should be dynamic. If you take each and every sector, for example, there is a several unorganized sectors are available when compared to the organized sector, because an overwhelming proportion of the laborers are available in the unorganized sector. For example, one particular sector, we are taking agriculture, there is a cultivators, there is a farm laborers, there is agricultural labor, there is a several aspects are there. Because we can understand that there should be this become the resources for the countries. India is the second most populous country, as we all know that the world after the China. India projected to surpass China as the world's most populous country the next year, according to the report by the United Nations. Why the population growth rate is concerned? Because we have currently 2%. India with 138 crores people, the second most populous country in the world, with China on the top with 1.44 billion people. The figure shows that India represents almost 17.85% of the world population, which means 1 out of 6 people live in this planet lives in India. That we can understand that how the projections are working and how this India will cross. Because the China is having the many states having the single child policy norms. Although the population in China's head for the India is and take number was the position by 2030. Within 8 years, India can surpass China. With the population growth at 1.2%, India predicted to have more than 1.5 billion people by the end of 2030. More than 50% of India's current population below the age of 25 and 65% below the age of 30. That is most important. That is another projection. Another projection says that 2059, India having this advantage because we have a more number of children, more number of youth, because that is a demographic dividend that should be properly used, properly guided, properly converted as the resources is concerned. The birth rate is 22.2 births per thousand population, while death rate is 6.4 deaths per thousand population. The fertility rate is 2.72 children born per woman as per the National Family Health Survey 2008, and the infant mortality rate is 30.15 deaths per 11,000 livers in 2018. There is a number of studies being conducted at regular interval that in National Family Health Survey. I involved in the project in the 1980, the initial phase at the Karnataka. You can understand that we traveled widely about the, because that is important for the reproductive health is concerned, how the women's awareness, what type of the knowledge has been created through the primary health care centers, health sub-centers. India is another important, India is the largest illiterate population in the world. Because when the population is huge, but we can understand that the people who do not know read and write, because earlier there is a read, write, arithmetic has been removed. Read and write is a literate person because above the age of 7. But India is still having the more illiterate population. That should be more concerned about these things, because organizations which are working for the hamlets and small places, the remote areas, that should be understood. Because all the villages are not same, because sometimes villages are very far away from the main roads and cities, and some villages are very remote, and people living in the tribal areas. That should be even considered. Every year, India adds another nation is about the fact that Indian population is some of the states in the equal to total population of the many countries. For example, the population of Uttar Pradesh is almost equal to the population of Pradesh. Because the statistics and comparative analysis to bring out the very interesting phenomenon that for the population of UP is equal to the population of Pradesh. Because that one country's population is we having the one particular state. Population, second populous state, Maharashtra, which is having a growth rate is 9.42% equal to the top Mexico's population, because Maharashtra equal to Mexico's population. Bihar with 8.07% is third most populous state in the India, and its population is more than Germany's. West Bengal with 7.79% growth rate, Andhra Pradesh 7.41%, and the Tamil Nadu 6.0% are the fourth, fifth, and sixth position in respective. The sex ratio of India stands 948, Kerala with 1,058 females per 1,000 males, the state with the highest female sex ratio. Even within the, I told you that in Tamil Nadu, that is out of 39 districts, we have 15 districts, we have a more number of female population, but in many states also we can give example. But that is what my emphasis is on how these states have been. We have to understand comparative statement, how these particular states and particular districts having more number of females. That should be the practice should be implemented wherever attention is required to increase the female population. Pondicherry 1,102 with the Chhattisgarh 990 and Tamil Nadu 980 are the third and fourth places respectively. Haryana with 861 has the lowest female sex ratio. That should be given much importance because there is other problems with the type of marriage or polyandry and all. There is a possibilities for in the days to come. Some of the reasons for India's population poverty, high fertility, rapid decline in the birth rate, mortality rates, immigration from Bangladesh, Nepal. So several things are there. Even migration, one of the important aspects from there is a type of migrations are that people from moving one place to other place because the resources are very less. When they are taking the resources, because that should be highlighted, identified why the people are going from one district to other district, one state to other state, and we have to mobilize the resources to find out. Sometimes there is indicators are there why why the poverty is there. Sometimes there is an infrastructure facilities may not be available, water resources may not be, industry may be less, agriculture may be more, and this some kind of understanding, some kind of in-depth knowledge is required. Otherwise, we cannot make it because we have a more populous countries in the world, but without a proper understanding, we cannot do anything. Along with this swelling population, India started taking measures to stem growth quite early. Because India is doing the things. Because when the country is multi-religious, multi-linguistics, multiculturalistic country, only we can emphasize the people, only we can ask the people to go for less number of population, less number of children, and within the limited children, how to give the proper education, proper health care facilities. In fact, India, by launching National Family Planning Program in 1952, became the first country in the world to have population policy. Already told that we have created the first family planning program, family. Because earlier we have a notion that in 70s we have the norms is every family may have the 2 to 3 children. Later on, 80s we convert to 1 child or 2 children. Later on, because we thinking that this is enough for this, but we can emphasize, we can create advocacy, but that is important for each and every family. I know we know very well. Some of the families are now joint family system has been mostly reduced because most of the families are having small family numbers because the life expectancy increased. The people are unable to join together. So it is the 2 to 3 generations may not live together. There is a major issues are there. Family planning program yielded some noticeable results, bringing down the significantly country's fertility rate is concerned. Because that we achieved certain level. In 1965 to 2019, contraceptive usage more than tripled and the fertility rate more than the half. Because since 1992 onwards, NFHS survey being conducted every year, and there is documentation. Under this big data analysis for the researchers are available. How we can understand the contraceptive methods and how the people are using these methods. This has been created. Some of the important results have been what are the desirable results we have achieved. Efforts to produce positive results, however, failed to achieve the ultimate goal on the population of India getting independence from Great Britain in 1946, almost 3 times. Even though we are happy with some kind of results, positive results are taking place, but still we got to understand that we need more attention. We need a proper understanding about the culture, the population, because not only for the numbers, but it is related to the social aspect. Social variables are very, very important place. Where India's measure the studies for bringing rate of population under the control. China's one-child policy in the 1978 brought tremendous results for that, because it is the government has created the policy, even though there is a single child policy, but some of the states have been emphasized that we need a more number of children. More. So that is allowed to go for the things. Few states, 2-3 states have been in China that they can go for the more than one child, because there is otherwise there is the government is emphasizing for don't go for more number of children, otherwise your increment will cut and your promotion will be cut. The policy claims to have prevented from 250 to 300 million births from 1978 to 2000 and 400 million births from 79 to 2010. Because there is China is there is implemented properly that things. I already told that because we are the best in making policy. We have several policies, social policy, we have economic policy, we have industrial policy, we have economic policy, policy for the aged, policy for the children, several policies we have. But all the policy notes and the policy to implement the policy, we have programs, we have other aspects. But that alone will not be helpful, because there is a target oriented, the block level, and even we need a perspective plan, because I involved in the perspective plan for the district. Several parameters we have chosen, how the health, what type of health in various resources, and the education, and the gender disparity, and the water resources, and all aspects to be understood. That is, everything is accumulated and cumulative. That type of attention is very, very important and measurable. India, with a population growth rate of 1% annually, to slowly approaching become the most populous country in the world, going to estimate a big projection in the world. Impact of decline fertility rates. As fertility declines, the share of young population falls. And this decline is rapid. The increase of population working age is substantial, yielding the demographic division. That is the most important aspect, because when we are having the more number of youth is available, more of young populations are available. But we can utilize these things, because India is having more number of youth population, they can become the technocrats, entrepreneurs, many scientists, and all the things we can understand, we can convert them as the real democratic debate, because it is it will be available for us until 2059. The smaller share of children population enables higher investment per child, because when we are having a proper the care, the childhood is very important in each and every area, because it is a Herculean task for the child development structures. Therefore, future reports have the better productivity and thus become the boost income, because productivity is very, very important, and the efficiency of the laborers, depending upon what type of programs that we are given to them. Increase Indians' median age with falling fertility currently 2. The median age of India rising from 24 years in 2029 years, now expected to 2036. With the falling dependency ratio, this one, 15 to 15 years working age population, India middle age of demographic transition. Impact of demographic transition on GDP. India's demographic transition provides window of opportunity for faster economic growth, because economic growth is very, very important. That should be converted as a dividend for the entire population. All India's benefit of GDP from demographic transition over lower than the speed in Asia already tapering. Countries like Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea have adopted forward-looking policy about youth in terms of education, skills, and health choices achieved incredible economic growth. Because we know very well about the importance of education, importance of soft skills, importance of the health choices, and many more aspects are related to this, because economic growth is concerned. We can understand that how these countries are developing the model and how they are making because we are having a more number of uneducated youth, more number of youths are in doldrums of youth. They do not know how to make it this economic systems. Better economic growth is depending upon youths are concerned. Diversity states with health of young in the country, status of and space of population aging among the states. The solution, the southern states which are advanced democratic transition already have a higher percentage of older people. Another dimension is already told that we have India currently having an average 8.5% of the elder populations are there. But that should be because when we are talking about the inclusive growth, we need the expertise, we need the knowledge from the age is concerned. While Kerala's population already aging, in Bihar, the working age cohort is predicted to continue to increase till 2051. Already we have a number of old age homes because of when the aged population increasing, they are unable to live. Adaptability, adjustment within the family network is very difficult for the thing, and more than 2 to 3 generations unable to live together. By 2013, overall size of our vast working age population will be have declined in 11 of the 22 major states. Another projections being given by the various agencies who are working for demography and the population is concerned. The difference in age structure reflects different economic development and the health status of it, because it is a micro level analysis, very important. The age pyramid, age structure, depending upon the size of the this equal with the sex. The roadblocks to tapping the youth potential. India's low per capita consumption of expenditure. A child in India consumes around 60% of the consumption by all the adult age between 20 to 64. While a child in India consumes 80% of the prime age adults consumption. Because they can understand that, because this is the problems of the consumption of the food and the work, because still we have a child malnutrition. That is UNICEF describes it is this invisible hunger. But the awareness, social awareness are and all, so very important. Then the biological issues are concerned. In Asia, India ranks 4 in terms of private and public human capital spending is concerned, because we need health spending is also not kept in pace with India's economic growth. We need a health. Health is very important aspect, and primary health care should be very prioritized, and health, the importance of village health nurse, health sub-centers role, and all very incredible, and there is incorporated in each and every aspects. Because healthy individuals can contribute their best. Already told that increasing working age population may lead to rising unemployment, fueling economic and social risks. Also, there is a possibilities for unemployment ratios concern under. Sometimes we can understand that instead of unemployment, there is underemployment is more. Underemployment, people accepting the lower jobs than their prescribed education qualifications are concerned. India suddenly have support from for my implementation of several welfare policies in connection with this one, because when the government is ready, governance is ready, the people are approaching the people, and the people have to accept. And several things are the unfulfilled education, gender inequality, education concern. India boys more like to be enrolled in secondary and tertiary school, even though the every results and the school finals results and all, India is having more number of children, more girl children are the passing percentage is high, and the number of girl children are doing better than the boys. But we have to concentrate on this. However, in Philippines, China, Thailand, it reverse, and Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, gender differences are rather than minimum. Options of skill upgradation and this one of the India and primary school. The end of it is control over government schools, malnutrition, trained teachers, and issue poor learning outcomes. That is allowed to be understood properly in terms of the things. Fulfilling the health-related, the elderly population in India is projected to double from 8.6% in 2011 to 16% in 2040. This will sharply reduce per capita available hospital beds in India across all major states unless investment in health system address this weakness. Because already we have a lot of money is being spent, but when compared to the this one, within the SAARC nations, there is a statistic says that we are unable to make more and more number of the quality workers, because there is a lacking in health sector is concerned. More finance for health is a better health facility from the available funding is ensure the reproductive health care system service will be accessible to the on the right based approach. So bridges the gender gap in workforce, new skills and opportunities for women, girls befitting the participation in the development process urgently needed. The concluding remarks on the basis of these challenges and the dynamics of population is concerned. Youth provides India with a great opportunity for growth with the possibilities of path-taking innovation. The protecting the four basic rights of the children are concerned because that is the most concentration is required from the childhood is concerned. That is the developmental rights, participation rights, protection rights, survival rights. I'm talking from survival. Survival, there is a gender disparity in the birth itself because 0 to 6 years, the more number of male population, more number of less number of female population. The protection, who will protect? Sometimes you can understand that sexual abuse, children are being even within the close relatives, those are known to the children are being for this sexual abuse. Participation, there many families are concerned, particularly wherever the informal sectors are where more number of children allowed to participate in the share in the economic burden of the family. Then the developmental participation. The developmental aspect is concerned because overall to implement the development is development is a progressive aspect. Development in freedom from the clutches. That is very emphasis. My emphasis is on freedom from the clutches and avoiding the child labor because child labor in India is a more number of children are working because there is a difference between child labor and the child worker. As we know very well, child worker in terms of the children are partially working, partially going for the schools, but the child labor is completely the childhood recreation. Other things are being stopped. Inclusive age in the developmental process because it is every aspect is the children, adolescents, adults, youth, aged, women, all the people are should be become the developmental process, inclusive growth. Because the age is very because expertise, knowledge, because many of the scientists across the world beyond their 80 years they can contribute. Age is not a constraint because that should be healthy age, healthy cities. There is a several concepts related to healthy. Institution may develop the village through adoption schemes because every high learning institutions they can adopt the villages and they can accommodate the science, arts, social sciences, medical, engineering fields. They can accumulate, they can concentrate, they can join with the hands with the governments are concerned, governments with the union, the governments with the state, the local governance. That should be very important aspects too. If you are really interested in the development of the population is concerned. Institution, the youth should be given topmost priority entrepreneurial skills because they should be developed as instead of searching for the employment, they can identify their skills, soft skills, and many organizations have to come forward and what type of things we are doing that work when the university is concerned. We're going to the villages, identifying the gap areas. That's very important. Developing our own model for the population dynamics are concerned because instead of searching for the model from somewhere other countries because our thing is unique. Every district is unique and identifying the what are the possibilities for implementing several schemes and all that is most important. Implementing research models in mostly action-oriented research are very important instead of other than the because various kinds of researches are there. There is a basic research, fundamental research, action-oriented research, applied research, and policy-oriented research. Because research organizations are forward to understand, encourage research to focus on indigenous knowledge in between various segments, because that is the most important aspects to understand, to analyze whatever indigenous knowledge. Because there is a tribals, for example, that the traditional medicine knowledge, they have plenty of medicine knowledge. That should be identified and we got to take into account. Our population should be converted to dynamic assets, but not be liabilities, because that should be most important. Population should be assets. Population should be dynamic. Population should be liabilities, because India is going to become within a short span of time. India will become ruling these things because we have a strong culture, because dynamic, and everywhere we can find Indians contributing the best as a scientist, technocrats, and teachers, and in every aspect in many countries across the world. So that should be because our assets that should be converted as the India is going to have achieved this target in the years to come. So with these few remarks, I thank you for all the participants for your patience listening, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my viewpoints. Hello, madam.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Tell
Thank you
me.
so much. Thank you so much, sir, for this very nice session.
Okay.
If anyone has any question, you can ask. Yeah, I think no one have any questions, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, all the participants, for your active participation. Let me inform to all that this complete session will be available on our Research Circle YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it again or want to share it to somebody, please do visit the Research Circle YouTube channel. Thanks. And last but not the least, thank you, Dr. C. Venkatachalam, for taking out time for session. With your permission, I would like to end today's session here, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for inviting me once again for this. Okay, we'll work together in future also. Thank you so much.